The night shift. Brody never wanted the job. Nobody wanted to work the night shift at Freddy's family warehouse, the giant storage hub where all the old animatronics were kept after the restaurant chain shut down. But he needed the money, and the job listing said quiet work, minimal interaction, no customer service. That sounded perfect for him, until the moment he stepped inside. The place didn't smell like an abandoned warehouse. It smelled like old grease and something metallic, like rusted blood. The supervisor, a jittery man named Hal, handed Brody a key card, a flashlight, and a warning he delivered without making eye contact. Don't wander. Don't approach any animatronic that looks active. And if you hear knocking, don't answer it. Then Hal left, quick, like he didn't want to be in the building a second longer. Brody locked the door behind him and started his rounds. The lights flickered constantly, buzzing like angry insects trapped inside the bulbs. Down every aisle were the old animatronic mascots, old Freddy suits, a decommissioned Bonnie, even a twisted version of Chica, missing its mask entirely. Their eyes, even powered off, reflected just enough light that Brody caught himself, imagining they were staring right at him. He tried to distract himself by checking his phone, but the screen kept glitching whenever he passed certain older animatronics. Static lines, distortions, weird symbols. He chalked it up to the wiring in the building. Halfway through the shift, Brody heard something. A soft, rhythmic thud, thud, thud from one of the aisles. It wasn't machinery. It wasn't settling metal. It sounded deliberate, like footsteps. His radio hissed. "Brody, do not go toward it," Hal's voice crackled through, shaky and breathless. Brody froze. "How do you even know what I'm hearing?" "Because it happens every night," Hal whispered. "Just stay put until it stops." But the footsteps didn't stop. They grew heavier, closer, right behind him. Brody spun around, shining his flashlight. The beam caught an animatronic standing in the middle of the hallway that absolutely hadn't been there minutes earlier. A twisted Freddy suit, jaw hanging open too wide, exposing metal teeth glinting like razors. The suit's chest cavity was dented, dripping with some dark, sticky fluid. A low whirring sound rose from deep inside its frame. Then the Freddy suit twitched, then its head snapped toward him. Brody bolted. He sprinted past rows of lifeless mascots, hearing metal footsteps slam against the floor behind him like a mechanical predator giving chase. He turned into another aisle and ran straight into another animatronic, this one a mangled Bonnie with wires trailing from its eyes like torn nerves. Its mouth jerked open, releasing a stuttered, broken laugh. Brody backed away, stumbling, slipping on something wet. When he looked down, his stomach dropped. It was blood, a smeared, long trail of it, and at the end of the trail lay a half-collapsed crate with a torn work badge still attached to a shredded uniform shirt. The badge said, "Mark." Brody's breathing grew shallow. Mark was the night guard before him, and before Mark, there had been others. The metal footsteps thundered closer. The animatronics weren't slow. They weren't broken. They were hunting. Brody crawled backward, kicking crates aside until he found a narrow maintenance hall and squeezed inside. It was pitch black, so he used his flashlight and immediately wished he hadn't. The walls were covered in handprints, deep gouges, bloody smears, and written over and over in shaky handwriting, "Don't let them open you." Brody didn't even understand what that meant until a cold metal clamp clamped around his ankle and dragged him out. His flashlight flew from his grip, spinning across the floor and casting wild shadows as the animatronics surrounded him. The twisted Freddy leaned down until its face was inches from him. Its eyelids snapped open, revealing glowing red pits that seemed almost humanly angry. It spoke in a warped child voice, broken by static. "Time for your upgrade." Brody screamed, kicking wildly, but Bonnie grabbed his arms, forcing them above his head. Chica pinned his legs. Freddy's metal claws dug into his chest, not slicing, just finding the seams in his shirt and skin, as though searching for access. Then Brody understood the message on the wall. They didn't just kill the guards. They opened them, like machines. Freddy's serval whined as its fingers pried into my ribs. I felt my bones creak. I felt warmth flooding down my sides, my vision blurred with tears and panic as metal digits dug deeper, going slow, deliberate, like the animatronics were savoring every second. I screamed until my throat ripped raw. The suit's jaw unhinged and snapped down onto my shoulder, metal teeth crunching through muscle. Something tore. My breath hitched. I felt myself fading, slipping, the pain turning distant and underwater. My last thought was a single flicker of confusion. Why him? Why any of the guards? Freddy leaned close again, as if answering a question Brody never got to ask. Pieces must be replaced. The machines tore into me, opening me like a toolbox. My body twitched one last time before going still. Hours later, when the morning staff arrived, the animatronics were all back in their original positions, except for one. A new animatronic stood among them now, taller, newer, wearing a Freddy-style suit stitched together with flesh-colored patches. Its badge read, Brody, Night Model. And when the lights flicked on, its jaw twitched, and it smiled.